So you've no doubt seen tons of photos from your favorite YouTubers and tech writers taken on the P20 Pro on social media. I'm willing to bet that a lot of those photos were also taken at night. I'm also willing to bet that a lot of them looked pretty darn good. Now, it's no secret that for low light photos on a mobile phone, a lot of people are turning to this device. The thing is that I'm not so sure that people really understand why it's so good at these photos. So I think we need to talk about it because it does actually represent a pretty big leap. Here's first a little bit of background on the phone if you're not familiar. It has 3 lenses on the back that are all tuned and created by Huawei and Leica, the camera company that's been around for a million years. The first is a monochrome sensor that can capture more dynamic range because it only has to focus on light and not color. It also takes those fun black and white shots that you probably see a lot of on social media. The other sensor is an Rgb sensor. So it's the color sensor that when paired with the monochrome sensor, they actually combine their data to increase dynamic range from the monochrome and then add the color data in from the Rgb sensor. And finally, we have a 3 times telephoto zoom, which is 3 times instead of the 2 times that we see on most devices. The fact that it has 3 rear cameras is great and all, but it's not the sheer number of cameras that makes it so good at low light. Now first up, that Rgb sensor is a whopping 40 megapixels in size. Now, the sheer numbers is not really what matters here, it's what it does with those pixels. It actually can use a process called pixel binning and combine multiple pixels into one larger pixel. So in the case of the P20 Pro, it combines 4 of its 1 micron sized pixels into a large 2 micron sized pixel. So that means that our 40 megapixel sensor is now a 10 megapixel sensor with much larger pixels. Compared to the iPhone X's 1.22 micron pixels and the Galaxy S9's 1.4 micron pixels, these 2 micron pixels let in a lot more light and they make for just better low light photos with a lot less noise. Next up, the main camera sensor is physically a lot larger than any other flagships out right now. It's a 1 by 1.7 inch sensor, which is 170% larger than the iPhone X and about 125% larger than the Galaxy S9. Now, obviously, a larger sensor, more room for those pixels, more light, better low light photos. Finally, I have 2 words for you: night mode. Now, night mode is something that's actually been on Huawei P series devices before, and even other manufacturers' devices, just under a different name. But essentially what it is it's a long exposure shot that the phone then decides how long to keep the exposure open for. I mentioned this isn't a new feature, and it's not, but something huge changed about it with the P20 Pro. The P20 Pro is the first device I've ever seen that can do this long exposure, up to 20 seconds, handheld, without any super stable tripod needed. Trying to do this with even like a high-end camera results in some blurring, just thanks to the fact that our hands naturally shake. But with the P20 Pro, there's none. The way it seems to do this, at least according to me and my own experience with it, is that it takes a crap ton of photos during that exposure time, all at varying levels of exposure, and then it uses its little software magic to kind of stitch them all back together and give you an end result that is just a very well-lit photo. I even end up using it during the day, or sometimes when there's a shot that everything in the frame is not quite perfectly lit, thanks to the built-in AI that can recognize objects and adjust the brightness for them regardless of whether it's during the night or day. It almost actually works kind of like as an extreme HDR. It's kind of brilliant, actually, right? There you go, guys. I hope that was educational. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I just thought it was interesting. I think it's kind of cool what Huawei is doing with that camera in particular, and it's just funny that like nobody really knows about it, I think. So wanted to share. Hope you guys enjoyed it though. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, of this type of video, these more like kind of, it's called call them educational type videos. I like doing these once in a while, but I don't know how you guys feel about them, so let me know. Otherwise, if you like this video, please thumbs up it or share it. It's greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like what you see there. And don't forget to also tap the bell next to the word subscribe so that you get notified when I do new videos, because apparently YouTube just doesn't notify anyone about anything anymore. But that's it. Appreciate it. As always, regardless, thanks for watching.